A storm is brewing in the shadows. There's a file buried deep in the marble corridors of UAE Team Emirates' headquarters. It doesn't scream for attention. There are no big letters, no top secret stamped in red ink, just a file quietly labelled Plan B. And that is where the cycling gods buried the blueprint of a future too shocking, too strategic, and too Spanish to believe. Ever since Tadej Pogačar signed his crazy deal that stretches to 2030, longer than most oil investments and marriages, the men in suits began whispering and asking questions. Not because they doubted Poggy's legs, the man climbs like gravity is optional, but because in cycling, you don't plan for today, you plan for 2029, and boy, did they plan. Enter the Spectre, a junior rider so talented that most scouts were fighting over him. UAE didn't just scout him though, they basically launched a covert mission. Helicopters over Andorra, undercover Suyars watching youth races, NSA-level GPS data tracking. This wasn't recruitment, it was a cycling heist. They didn't just find a rider, they found the one. The kid who could maybe, just maybe, step into the Slovenians' oversized power-metered shoes. A god in disguise, whose name we still won't mention until later. Let's talk about the legs, shall we? This individual has a VO2 max that's basically illegal in several countries. Rumours say he once did 6.8 watts per kilo on a climb and still had enough breath to complain about the coffee quality. At 18, he won a stage race against grown men who shaved their legs with power tools. At 19, he time trialled like a Spanish Tony Martin possessed by a caffeinated Remco. His training files have become urban legend. Coaches stopped analysing them and just cried. One file allegedly showed a solo attack of 78 kilometres, where he averaged more watts than most toaster ovens. Another showed him descending while texting his grandma and still clocking 92 k's an hour. Quote, "He's different," says an anonymous coach. Quote, "like Pogačar level different." But UAE weren't about to make the same mistake that every football club makes, throwing a wonder kid into the spotlight too early. No, they played the long game. He was given the best equipment, best nutritionist, best everything, and presumably a private masseuse who sings Teletubbies in Spanish. And yet, the world barely noticed. Because in the age of Pogačar's domination, who looks behind the golden throne? Tadej sees the storm. Now, let's take a detour to Tadej Pogačar's reaction to all of this, before we reveal who this rider is. Some of you may already know, or have a strong idea who it is, but stay tuned till the end till we reveal exactly that. The Slovenian is many things. Tadej is joyful, polite, mountain goat incarnate, but he's not oblivious. He saw the glances, he knows the plan, and he felt the shift in team training camps. He noticed when one rider's bottle was always just a bit colder, if that makes sense, and he spoke up. Quote, "He's good, very good, maybe too good," Pogačar said once, smirking through clenched jawbones. Quote, "But, you know, I'm not worried yet." Another time, asked about sharing team leadership at a major race, quote, "I mean, it's great. We're a team, and sharing is caring, right?" Then there was the offhand comment at altitude camps, quote, "He makes us all ride faster, which is helpful, I guess." You could practically hear the gears turning in his mind. The kid is riding at my level, and I have a contract until 2030. What happens in 2031? Contractual sorcery and the Poggy dilemma. UAE's plan was never to disrespect Poggy. Let's make that clear. How could they? The man turned Slovenia into a Grand Tour factory. He sells jerseys, wins monuments, and smiles like a childhood friend who never learns cynicism. But contracts are cruel. They age, they tire, and eventually the numbers stop terrifying people. UAE knows this. That's why they backed the truck of euros to secure Mr. Mystery's signature. Reportedly, it included a bonus clause. If he even thinks about dropping Pogačar in training, he gets a villa in Mallorca. There's a term in sports contracts called a, quote, succession clause. It's a polite way of saying, we love you until we love someone younger. And the Shadow Prince, oh, he has one. The moment Tadej slows down, even by half a cadence, the throne creaks. It's not personal, it's cycling, and cycling is cruel. The unravelling. So who is he? Fine, you waited long enough, and most of you probably know. It's none other than Juan. Juan freaking Ayuso, the 22-year-old meteor, the high cheekboned, watt-producing, espresso-fueled Spaniard who had quietly been becoming the guy while everyone's been watching over Poggy's power data and Strava art. Ayuso didn't just show up, he arrived. He podiumed the Vuelta before he could legally rent a car. He time trials like a robot with a Basque flag and climbs like he's allergic to gradients. And he's been UAE's secret weapon the whole time. Not secret anymore. Quote, Juan has everything. One DS confessed. Quote, he's got the numbers, the brain, and the swagger. And it doesn't hurt he looks like a Netflix lead. Tadej, well, he's smiling for now. But in every smile, a flicker of something else. Respect. Caution. Maybe, dare I say it, fear? What now? So what happens when a cycling team has two generational talents? Do they ride happy ever after? Do they, quote, co-lead politely? Please, this is cycling, not kindergarten. UAE has lit the fuse. The cycling world is watching. The fans are choosing sides. And the mountains, oh, the mountains are ready. Because Ayuso isn't just a new rider, he's the plan. The prince in waiting. The rider is trained and whispered about in dark corners of training camps, while everyone else stares at Pogačar's wattage. 2030 is far away, but it's coming, and when it does, there won't be a changing of the guard. There'll be a duel. I spent hours and hours trying to find out how much exactly Team UAE Emirates spent on Juan Ayuso. However, as most of you guys will be aware, cycling contracts are pretty private, and they're between the rider and the team that signed them. But there are reports that the deals were as much as tens of millions, with one article saying 100 million. That's kind of hard to believe, but it's bonkers. I honestly think it's probably around about tens of millions, and that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's worth it, because he will be the next Tadej Pogačar, at least in Team UAE Scouts' eyes. Thank you for watching today's video. If you disagree or agree with anything, make sure you use the comment section down below as an open community to voice your opinions and your criticism. Also, before you go, please subscribe if this is your first time here on this channel, and leave a like on today's video to support my work. By the way guys, I'll be posting every single day. Here on this channel I cover the latest cycling news, the latest cycling drama, and also the latest cycling race results. We are inching closer to the Tour de France, and you must be subscribed to this channel to feature all the drama and stay up to date with all of the latest news. We have people dropping out, we have new riders filling in for teams, we have crazy shoutouts and beefs happening in the cycling community, and I don't see any other channel on YouTube or the internet for that matter covering this type of news as frequently as I am. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video.